recap what we were talking about there. First thing, rolling motion. Control your own motion. You have to control your own motion. You can't lean on other people, you can't push them to the side, you have to continually go in. The way, put your hands up, how I go into neck, I just come in, with my hands in place, I go in and I make them lean into me. I just make, changing the distance is how you change the tension here. Don't push on them, don't roll them around, don't lean on them, don't do anything. Control your own motion first. Once you control your own motion, then you can challenge each other, then you control your structure as we move, and so on. When I control my own motion, then I focus it to the center. Every time I'm going to the center, every time to the center. The only thing that stops me getting to the center is if he has hands on the center line. Therefore I go like that. So now we meet, then we roll. And I come in. He'll move me away. He'll move me somewhere. Then go back to the next one. Flow into the next thing. Into the next one. Right? As long as I know my motion and my structure, I go into his center. As soon as I feel my focus, then I gotta change. I'm gonna let something go to come back. Control your own, then you know when he's leaning on you. If you know when he's leaning on you, you know which way to turn your body. If you turn your body, you control your own motion as you do it, then you'll flow smoothly into the next thing. Okay? Finding your way in is the one. Yeah, finding your way in and changing your way. When, so as if I control my own motion, and when I walk in and bring it to him, I should move him back. If he is weak here, then I'll just overwhelm him and just punch straight through. If he matches me, then I can move his whole body. Don't try to fight with the arms again. If he is way stronger than me, then I can move him out of the way and do something else. In order for me to know, feel any of those things, I have to know to control my own self. I have to have a strong balloon, strong triangle, and control my own motion. If I have to compromise, so he comes in and I go like this, if I have to compromise my structure to block him, i.e. chasing hands, I have no second motion, I can't go back in. If I don't, if I just use if I make him stick to me, then I can go in straight through him, I can open him up. Even if he knows what I'm doing, it's still hard for him to stop me. Because as soon as I connect, get that little stick, now I made him stick to me, then I bring everything together, open the elbow line, control him with this one, straight in. Okay? If you can, so start off controlling your own motion. Secondly, learn how it feels when somebody puts force on it, or where do you turn it. Thirdly, make sure when you turn it, you bring it all together, so you don't lose your structure in order to chase hands. Thirdly, or fourthly, or whatever it is, when you have all that together, bring it straight to you and focus it to the center. If he blocks you off, you've got to be able to let go and come right back again. You've got to realize that the motion, the place where you go into, may not stay where it's supposed to be. So if he stays right where he is, and I go charging in, then I can get him. If he moves out of the way, and I keep going to that, I'm going to miss. So as I go in, and he moves out of the way, I have to roll right back to it. In order to do that, I have to, guess what? Control my own motion. Right? If I do anything else, if I do a big move or something like this, and I'm all off, how am I going to get back to him? He will be able to block me easily. But if I can bring my whole structure in and insert it in such a way that I make him stick to me as I go. Now that he's stuck to me, he won't collapse because I'm making him balance himself. When I come in here and he wants to push on me, when I come in this way, he has to balance himself. I'm making him balance himself. He can't let go because he knows both hands are going straight to the center. So even though he knows I'm going to come in here and try to get him, and he tries to block me, I make him balance himself with this hand, and then I can still get in. Right? No, anyway, the overall idea is that you control your own motion. If you do that, then it's easy to follow his motion. And why do you follow his? If you again control your own, then you can get inside his structure. If you can get inside his structure, then you can do whatever you want.
You said it was easy to follow your own motion?
I say when I can control my own motion, then I can follow yours. When you come to get me, then I can follow your motion. I still control mine as I'm doing it. That would lead me into maybe do something like that, or you might even go there and I could do something like that. But whatever. But if I can control my own, when you move me away from my focus, then I know where to go, that I don't fight that. If I get moved past my own center line, and I try to fight him back, that's going against his force. He can use that against me big time. If I notice that my focus is gone from the center, all I've got to do is replace it. And then I can open it up and go back into this again. Because as he feels me come in, he starts to pull, I use my other hand to help me. I make him balance himself. He can't let go now. Because if I don't control, if I don't challenge his center, he can let go anytime he wants. He can easily. He doesn't have to do what I want him to do. But when I'm going in, I'm taking that into account, using both hands together, going straight in. He knows that if he doesn't, he's trying to push me here now. There's a little bit of force here, not much, but there's a little bit here now. Because he knows I'm getting closer, so he's going to push harder. So I'm going to use this one more, step through, and then straight into the next one, straight into the next one.
Which way do you use the bar now?
This is wherever I feel it. When I have my circuit in place,
Right.
right? My circuit is both hands. Whether I go from here to here, everywhere I come back to the center. So when I feel this going off, I'm gonna, as I go in, he starts to force me here.
Right.
If I don't use both hands together, if I don't control my own motion, if I don't know where he's going, if I don't try to send into him to use my circuit to balance his circuit, he's going to push me out of the way.
Right.
So I might try to go and do something fast, but he can block that easily. If I do this, I can make it slow, and he still can't block it.
Because you're taking it back.
Because as soon as I feel him pushing in here, I'm balancing the whole thing out.
So when you pull that, when you bring it back this way, it weakens this side.
Now, as I go in here, he wants to push me here.
Right.
So when I feel his force, I bring him back
Bring
to
it back,
balance.
so he can't.
So now he's not doing that as much.
I'm still going back.
And at the same time as I'm doing that, I'm stepping through and changing my elbow line.
Yeah.
Which means that the structure he's landed on, I move that structure, he's not there anymore, then he can't stop me. Now that he's opened up, because his structure is gone, then the next one and the next one are more easily done. All starts with controlling your own roll. If you just do this, or you just roll around instead of a little bit of drilling, then you're never going to have your own roll. If you don't have your own roll, you won't control your own motion. If you don't control your own motion, how do you know what you're doing? When I'm controlling my own motion properly, and I'm focusing here, every time I'm focusing there, if his hands aren't there, he's getting hit on the center, then I know I'm controlling my own. As soon as my own is moved somehow, then I know I better let go, come back, and do something about it. If I don't know what my own motion is, if I'm just doing this, if I'm not even challenging the center, if I'm just rolling around, how do I know when that's what happens, I don't even know where I am, how do I know where he is? Then it becomes behind match and all this stuff, which might work some of the times, but if I can make sure that his whole center is where I want it to be, then I can get him no matter what. So you have to triangle when I move, the triangle moves, but it's because the base moves. So the hands move according to how the feet and the body move. Right? Whatever way I do it, if I go that way, or if I go that way, or that way, that's how they move. When I focus at his center, I know when he changes me. All I have to know then is, am I doing what I'm supposed to do? When I'm rolling and making the shape, I'm protecting my house. I'm not trying to chase his hand. If I feel something happen to me, I compress and I can move on. That's how I learn how to move properly. Where do I go to? How can I make it automatic that when he comes into me, I already know where I'm going? As soon as he comes into me and I go forward to meet force, I have to immediately here know everything about him. What way is he going and so on. The only way I can do that is if I am solid in me. If I go in like this here, then I'm already up there. If I go in like this leading into him, he just throws me out of the way. So I have to come in like this and make the force with my structure. Now I have to feel where he's going. When I feel him going that way, I can come in, or I can go under, whatever it is. If I don't control me, how do I know what he just did to me? So you hear I need to use that term 0 point, so I know what my 0 point is. If I go into here and I've moved off it already and I know to go with it, I know to go with it, I know to go with it, I know to get out of the way, do something to change, and keep everything together at the same time. So the basis of all of it is control your own motion. And that starts with your roll. If your roll is erratic and non-consistent, inconsistent, then it's very difficult to know that you're going straight to the center.
Like, can you tell us when we like that isometric contraction, like a quick?
It's kind of like
I'm just like an example.
Yeah.
But could that be the same principle as turning off and on, like sending
Yes,
it real
absolutely,
quick and
absolutely.
then going on to the next
Yeah.
one?
When I roll, what I'm doing, I'm setting myself here. I'm not pushing into you. I'm not pushing on you. I'm not trying to drill him out of the way. I'm not trying to throw him out of the way. I'm not trying to lean on him and make him carry my weight. What I'm doing is just ending my motion. So if I exaggerate a little bit, not as sharp as that, but I'm just ending my motion. Ending my motion. Well, where my motion ends and his ends is where we meet. That's the point we touch. So I can control that point by changing my elbow line, but I don't want to lean on him. If I lean on him, I'm going to lose that. Okay? So I want to just hold it, feel the point. And then I know if he goes to do something, then I can feel what he's doing. As I turn the block in front of my hand, I send him that way. Now I make him balance himself again. It's brought me a higher hit than I would like to go, but that's all right. So then I'll just go back and hit him this way. But only because I take this and change it. I don't have to do that with my hands and turn them out the way. And then it sets you up for all the next stuff. So, if I haven't said it already, control your own motion.